Hey there people of the internet, my name is Sivana and welcome to my studio. As I promised in last week's video, I will be drawing a third fossil Pokemon for my Michigan region. So if you haven't seen that one yet, go watch it and then come back to this one. Did you watch it? Okay, good. Now let's get into the drawing. So if you weren't able to guess it from the little teaser at the end of my last video, I'm drawing a sauropod. And this is kind of a mix of Michigan and Texas themes, because the state dinosaur of Texas is the Sauroposeidon, one of the largest sauropods. And then I wanted to make it look like a pine tree, which are just all over Michigan. And thus the name Sauropine was formed. It also sounds like spine, like Sauropine, S-pine, spine, you get it. So I decided to make its fossil the spine fossil, which will come in much later. Right now I'm just messing around, not sure what to do with its ridiculously long neck, until I realized it should be a tree. A pine tree, to be exact, but the way I end up drawing the leaves don't really look like pine needles, but it's fine. I really didn't have much of a plan going into this other than I wanted to draw a really big sauropod, and then the tree thing and grass typing came in later. I also wanted this to be just the biggest, like the tallest Pokemon ever, so it looking like a tree to blend into its prehistoric forest was just a really cool thought to me. Now onto the line work, and I will warn you, I flip all over the place when lining the leaves, and I'm really sorry. It doesn't last too long, so just bear with me while I babble about the sauropods some more. So, something really cool about the Sauroposeidon specifically is that I've actually stood in one of their footprints. There's this beautiful nature park out in Glen Rose, Texas that me and my family would go to a lot to hike and swim in the river, and we just called it the Dinosaur Park because there are tons of dinosaur tracks all over the lake bed, the banks, and even up in the trails. It was one of my favorite places to go as a kid and was pretty much the main inspiration for me doing this third fossil Pokemon. Dinosaurs are just so cool, and it's so awesome to know that these crazy, magnificent beasts once walked around where I used to live, and their mark on the world is still there after all this time. I love dinosaurs and nature and learning all about this cool stuff. I think one of my favorite parts of making Michigan Pokemon is doing the research and tying in history and mythology into these cool monster designs. Oh yeah, then I gave it some vines because I thought it needed some kind of pattern, but it doesn't really make sense, I'm realizing. Oh well, I like it, so I'm not changing it. Now for the coloring, and I pretty much just pulled color samples from the first reference picture I had at the beginning and just went in to do the flats. I made the tummy this burnt orange instead of the yellow because it looked more earthy, and with this being a rock and grass type, I thought it needed more elements of rock, which are mostly just in its little toe claws. I'd say that before the regenerating process, that the Sauropine was a ground and grass type, but is now a rock type because of the whole fossil thing. Oh, and there's the spine fossil I guess I forgot to record. Weird. Anyway, it's based on an actual fossilized neck vertebrae of the Sauroposeidon, which was just perfect, like how could I do anything else? And I made it more green-grayish instead of the generic brown because some of the Sauroposeidon's fossils used to be mistaken for petrified wood, which can just look like gray rocks. And because the actual fossil photo I found was black and white. Fossil photo I found. That's a tongue twister. Anyway, the actual fossil photo I found was black and white, and I thought it looked really cool. I wanted all three of my fossils to be unique and stand out from one another. These vines still don't make sense for this Pokemon who's supposed to be based off a pine tree, but they look really nice, and I think it would be super cool if Sauropine used Vine Whip with the vines on its neck, or used Ingrain and the roots came out of the vines on its legs to plant itself in the ground. Wow, so many cool action poses that I could have drawn. Anyway, now let's just plug in the background, make some circles, then remember to shade the fossil, and we're all done. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my rambling about dinosaurs, and I hope you like Sauropine. If you do, be sure to like this video, comment what you liked about it, or any other ideas that you have for me. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't already, and go check out my Instagram or my Etsy or join my Patreon. It would really help me out a lot. As always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.